Hello and welcome to another episode here on Elina's Alchemy. This is Elina, intuitive psychic, angel channel, and certified energy healer and meditation coach. And I welcome you to this angel-infused episode on communicating with the angels. So I was thinking the other day about how there is this misconception that angels are a thing of a religion, for example, Christianity. And that makes many people uncomfortable, like people who are not resonating with the concept of religion and organized religion, most of all. So they get a little freaked out when they hear me talk about angels and talking to our angels and asking for assistance and all that stuff. So many people don't feel like connecting with angels because of their association with religion. And so they prefer to work with spirit guides or other figures that are maybe more new age or abstract, anything but, religion. But the truth is that the fact that angels have been documented by religions all around the world should not necessarily put them in the same bag with religions or different dogmas and programmings. Please feel free to see angels outside of the frame of religions because angels are not property of a religion or any other construct of human society. Angels are higher beings, a universal archetype. They are divine intelligence, and divine intelligence does not need a religion setting to be able to express itself. It just is. And it just does. It has no end and no beginning and has been there before any kind of religion, actually. And the truth of the matter is that angels, ascended masters, guides, everything through the centuries has been used here and there by religions. But we should not confuse the true essence of these things with the programming religions tried to make us associate angels, for example, with. Angels have nothing to do with nobody's agenda of control, which is basically what organized religion is. And we can argue all day about it. Also, words such as prayer have a bad rep because we heard those words through some religion, but prayer also has nothing to do with religion. Prayer is a tool. It is intention and is our way to communicate with the divine. It is how we dial the angelic realm. And because the love of the divine and angels for us is so unconditional, there is no way you can do prayer wrong. In various religions, we have prayer associated with specific elaborate rituals and a certain order and manner with which things are supposed to be done that basically put pressure and stifle the concept of prayer and completely distort the truth around what prayer actually is. So again, prayer needs no rituals, although you can use rituals for, whatever you want. But the goal is to strengthen your focus and not to add pressure on getting it right or something. God doesn't need you to get a ceremony right in order to hear and answer your prayer. So feel free to rethink how you define prayer and your attitude around that word. It's your tool for reaching the angelic realm, to be heard and to be answered. Now, having said all that, I want to point out that spirit, the divine, and the help God has for us is so there. It's so readily available for us on a daily basis in every moment of the day. You don't have to be holding any rituals or anything to ask for help and receive it. I mean, as I said, you can if you want to, but it's not like it is a prerequisite or anything, because all around us, we are surrounded by divine love by default. First and foremost, we are surrounded by our angels, our guardian angels and archangels, and they are readily waiting for us to acknowledge their presence and ask them to help. Now, you might think, well, if our angels are around us 24/7, why do I have any issues in my life? Why do I have to acknowledge them and ask for their help? Don't they know already that I need help, with X? The thing is, we have free will, my loves. As incarnated beings, our free will holds tremendous power. Unless we ask for help, our spiritual teams, such as our guardian angels, will not step in and interfere in any way for us because they would interfere with our free will. It would be a sabotage of our free will. So let me tell you what helped me along my journey. It is important that you start a simple practice of simply acknowledging the presence of your angels. Maybe simply by saying thank you, like addressing them on a daily basis, saying thank you for this or that in my life, or ask that their presence be made obvious to you. How they will respond to that is a very personal thing. It will certainly be something that has a special meaning to you, or something that attracts your attention, but they will also often communicate their presence through synchronicities, repeating number sequences. 444 is a big one, 1111, 333, or you might be seeing double hours like 1818, 1010, 2121, or 2112, or mirrored numbers like 1221 or 1331. Did you know, by the way, that numbers are associated with different angels or archangels, and certain hours are also connected to specific angels? And I'm currently trying to gather a database on my website, elinasalchemy.com, on this topic, like which hours are associated to which angels and archangels, and what these angels represent, what they can help you with. Because as you might know, every angel has an area of expertise you can ask their help on. So if you see a specific hour all the time, like 1313, it is a message from the angels, actually from the angel associated with this hour or those numbers. It's like, hello, I'm here. I'm coming through to help you with this area I'm an expert at. So ask for my help. So there is already an answer to your prayers, or if you had been calling for help, it's like, hi. So keep your eyes open for signs and synchronicities. You might be finding feathers, pennies, little references here and there. I remember since I started working with archangels, I can't tell you how often I met people, for example, with the name Michael, Raphael, Ariel. I mean, I know Michael, for example, is a very common name, but seriously, before working with Archangel Michael, I also kind of rarely had encountered a person with the name Michael. And suddenly I meet all of those Michaels. Like, I don't find it coincidental at all, to be honest. I've learned there are no coincidences in this universe. I remember what's interesting. I would go to places and I would see randomly those huge angel wings as decorations on the walls, or I would go to schools to teach, and they would give me the classroom with an Archangel Michael statue or painting in it. Like a few years back, I went to a school and they literally had a wall carving of Archangel Michael. And in Germany, mind you, where that school was, this is not common anymore. They do not display religious symbols at schools anymore because the society here is so multicultural, so they don't display anything merely Christianic out of respect for everyone. They try to keep things as neutral as possible. Don't ask me if I personally agree with this or not, but whatever. So anyways, you get the point. The truth is your angels talk to you through everything, and they will find ways to make themselves, to present themselves to you. Outside in nature is where most miracles have happened for me. Why? Because nature is so high vibe, it raises your vibration to the point where you are most receptive to angel communication and angelic intervention upon your being. And of course, nature is the realm of angels. Wherever there is beauty and lush life and running waters, and you are of course going to sense divine intelligence around. So I like to speak to my angels out in nature, and literally a leaf will fall on me that has a strange shape, and as I look at it, it kickstarts a series of thoughts and ideas that maybe offer a solution to a problem I was just praying for. So you gotta keep your eyes open, be open and trust what you get, and use everything as a sign. Often our angels will come through as thoughts, imagination, a good idea that solves a problem you had. They may even come around as people helping you, and then you turn around and they're gone, or something very subtle, like to more obvious ways, but you will always receive an answer. And often the answer might be given you, but you might not be receptive to it. You might not be seeing it because you might be going through something, and you might have been more focused on the problem than on the solution. And this affects everything, the way your reality gets shaped, right, according to where you vibrate. And if you're in fear or uncertainty, you might not be so receptive to communication coming from a much higher vibrational standpoint, such as communication from the angels. So you want to be keeping your vibe high through prayer, meditation, living from the heart, making decisions out of integrity and not out of victimhood or fear or shame. You want to be asking yourself daily, what do I love? What do I like right now? What do I appreciate about where I am? And what do I appreciate about what I have right now? Do this little exercise where for the next 5 minutes, you only search for the most beautiful words to describe things around you. You go actively looking for the beautiful things around you and you point them out. There was this series on Netflix, I think it was called Dream Homes, something like that, with a woman and a guy. They were architects, I think, and they were going around the world finding the most spectacular houses, like in Portugal, India, and Scandinavia. And they were going in the houses, spending a night in there and commenting about everything they loved. And seriously, the way the lady was using words to describe all that she loved about the houses, her vocabulary, her enthusiasm in her voice, she was always like, this is incredible, this is marvelous, this is the most beautiful little corner I have ever laid eyes on. And seriously, this was so uplifting, so inspiring. I said to myself, I will go around every day for 30 minutes pretending I'm that lady, and I will use her way of finding fantastic words to describe beautiful things, and I will use my body and my hands and mannerisms to create this enthusiasm. Guess what? You stay high vibe all day after you do that. On this, the series, I think it was called The World's Most Extraordinary Homes. Yeah, on Netflix with Pierce Taylor and Caroline Quentin. That was the lady. Check it out. It is so uplifting. I was bummed when I realized there were no seasons coming after I watched all the seasons they had on Netflix. I hope they do something new. I absolutely love that series. Anyways, but you can talk to your angels and archangels about anything. We may have been made to feel by certain religions that we are not worthy in a sense, or we shouldn't bother the angels with our little stuff. But your own personal guardian angel is there exactly to listen to everything going on for you. Also, these beings are omnipresent, multidimensional beings, which means they are so unlimited they can be here for you and over there for someone else, and at the same time they are multidimensional, just like we are multidimensional, okay? But they move in even higher dimensions. And even, science has proven there are 12 dimensions. We are in the third dimension, which is the dimension of material. The fourth dimension is the dimension of ideas and emotions. And the fifth dimension is the dimension of the heart, of inner knowing. Sixth dimension and higher, we have realms such as like in the seventh and even the 11th dimension. These are angelic dimensions. And so for our angels to reach all the way down to us in the third dimension, they have to pass through the fourth dimension, which is ruled by emotions. So you have to keep your emotions in balance to be able to hear them reaching out. If your emotions are turbulent, your fourth dimensional influence upon your being is heavy, and the signal from the angels gets muddled. And so your angels may be trying to reach through from the higher dimensions, but the heavy emotional soup you got going on the 4D level might not be allowing that through, or might not be allowing you to perceive that. So that's another reason why I said before, you want to make sure you remain as high vibe and positive feeling as possible. But our angels are indeed such high vibrational, powerful allies. They absolutely know no limitations. So it is from a very limited human perspective to think we are burdening our angels with our problems, or that our problems or issues are too unimportant and we shouldn't drive our angels crazy with our petitions and requests. I gotta say, it's always ground yourself before you make contact. Center yourself in your heart and speak what you feel and ask for guidance. There's no real protocol here. But what I like to do and have seen working for me years now, and have suggested this to my family and friends and clients as well, and they also see results, is the following. I like to start hey, my guardian angels, or Archangel Michael, beloved Archangel, thank you so much for being with me and guiding me and protecting me, blessing me with your light. Then I'm gonna go say what's happening for me. This is very relieving often because I know I can tell them anything about how I feel and I will not be judged. I will be seen when I talk to my angels and archangels. And it is such a profound feeling of being surrounded by love, or even being held when I need comforting. Often I have felt touched by spirit. There are even scientific experiments that should suggest that this is totally possible and not an illusion, as energy is basically electricity, and if enough of it is mustered, it can feel like you are being touched. So your angels might often concentrate enough energy around you that it feels like you're being touched, or at least surrounded by their presence. I mean, your very body is energy particles that simply vibrate at such a high rate that it becomes matter. And these high vibrational beings that angels are absolutely capable of manipulating energy in such ways that, if they want to make you feel their presence, to make you feel comforted, be sure you're gonna feel that. So often I will write letters to my angels, or write down an intention in my journal, or I will ask them to take care of it. And often I'm on the go and something happens and I say, please, my angels, be around me and be with me and guide me, protect me, and see to it that this situation ends up being beneficial for me. And that's it. Message delivered. And the truth is that the more you believe your message has been heard, the more this faith you build up strengthens your communication channel with your angels, and the back and forth communication gets easier and easier. So as with everything, it might take some repetition, some practice, and for sure consistency. Another sign my angels are around me and they are nearing me and we're communicating is I will start yawning like crazy. My face might start, like itching, my nose. Sometimes when I channel and I do readings, the energy flows, a bit intense. But my angels know I'm kind of sensitive, so they always keep the flow pretty regulated. But sometimes it happens. And the yawning is a 99% of the time. Like when I pray or talk to them, it happens. And I have come to understand it. It shows that your energy is shifting alone by coming into communication with these amazing high vibrational beings. Your energy is getting freshened up, like any lower, heavy, dense energies are being lifted from your energy field. And the yawning is simply the energy being released, right? Like leaving your system. So yawning is a strong indication you have established connection with your angels, and your energy is shifting to a higher level of vibration. And I always feel very energized and good to go after talking with my angels and archangels. I'm usually full of motivation and pretty uplifted, almost euphoric. If somebody catches me on the phone at that moment, they might think I'm on drugs or something, but I don't do drugs. I don't even do black tea. I don't drink alcohol, never even tried a cigarette, if I'm honest. So when I'm done talking with my angels, when I'm done with my prayer, I don't really feel spaced out or anything. And I think this has to do with the fact that before I start, I focus on my body. I ground myself a bit. There are so many ways to ground yourself, like imagining roots growing from your feet or your root chakra and connecting you to the earth. But to be honest, I don't do any of that. I just focus on my breath. And I close my eyes for a few seconds and look right in front of me in the darkness, of having closed my eyes, just in what is right in front of me in that present moment. And I monitor my breath. I bring my awareness here in the now. I think this is a good trick, so you don't get spaced out when interacting with such a high vibe energy. That's important. Also, when I'm out in nature, I like to sit on the earth or on a stone and have my feet touching the soil. This keeps me grounded all throughout. So when I'm done speaking to my angels, I always say something like, I entrust this intention of mine in your hands to be carried out in joy and in the highest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This also acts as a reassurance for me to put me in the mindset of, okay, it is said, and when I said it to my angels, it is considered done. It is taken care of, and it allows me to let go and not obsess over whether my request will be manifested, because this actually shows lack of trust, and this can influence your results. You want to have trust. You want to go with trust into that. The trick here, and generally with any type of manifestation or communicating and asking for something from spirit, from the divine, it's to ask for it and let it go. Let it go in trust. Know and trust that it has been taken care of. And all you gotta do now is relax, have a good time in the waiting room while waiting for your miracle to come. Another thing regarding receiving answers, often the answer to something you asked about might arrive in multiple parts and throughout multiple days, or you might receive downloads, light codes, light communications that your brain, your understanding might take some days to unpack, to decode. And I often find through my day, I feel like I end up commenting on something, an event or something that happened, as if I was saying my opinion. Or events will come around this way that a friend might need comforting, or my opinion on something, and I will end up saying something that in that moment already, when I said it, I know this is not completely mine, this is not entirely mine, and that's when I know I speak the wisdom I downloaded in a huge chunk, and now I am unpacking it. It feels very specific when that happens, almost like I'm in my body and I feel grounded and awake and all, but it feels like I'm basically at the same time channeling in that moment, which is actually what is happening. You are channeling in that moment. If this happens to you, know that you are basically channeling in that moment. So this is also a way that you get your answers through your very own mouth. The angels put the words there, the concepts, right? Also know that our angels have an incredible sense of humor. They are very funny and sweet and very kind and compassionate and witty. So expect answers and realizations to arrive in humorous ways as well. And of course, if you feel like you can use oracle cards or angel cards to receive messages, have some decks. I have some decks by Doreen Virtue, back in the day when she was making those decks, and currently my most favorite ones are the archangel decks. The Archangel Michael is my go-to for almost anything and everything. An angel healing deck is the one I use for diving deeper into healing. There are literally countless of decks out there, angel card decks. So feel free to see which ones speak to you, and happy readings. So, all right, my loves, thank you so much for being with me on one more episode of Elina's Alchemy. Feel free to share with me your experiences. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Elina's Alchemy. And of course, know that this episode is available both on YouTube and as a podcast. I'm available to assist you with readings and energy work through my website, elinasalchemy.com. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next episode here on Elina's Alchemy. So subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't, and take a look at the amazing Lightworker clothing line I just released on the website, elinasalchemy.com. So stay well, stay safe and happy and healthy. I send you all of my love. Be blessed. Goodbye for now.